There's a house built by the king of Bollywood, Shah Rukh Khan, and it's 4,000 something square feet. They've already put it on the market, and the new owners took down the letters that were on the house, which said Jannat. It was Jannat. Come on, Baba. They took down the word, but it meant heaven. And that at that point, when the word was up there, this is a smaller copy again of their main house in India, in Mumbai, and it's all Googleable. If you Google it, King of Bollywood, Hollywood Hills, you'll get the house as it was. So yeah, 4,000 square feet. They wanted 4 million for it, and 6 bathroom, 3 bedroom, and you heard that right, 6 bath, 3 bedroom. Very, and Ice-T and Coco used to be there, and they did celebrity rehab at some point in that property.
Get a picture of it.
They have a hand washing thing there. Did you see that? Yeah. Oh, that's decent. I mean,
we got Philadelphia on board. You know how I gotta watch out for these scooter people because she's just drifting over here. Hey, big yellow bus over your shoulder. Phantom of the Opera. I'm a fan too. How you doing? She is like poker face, scooter riding. She didn't even notice the big yellow bus coming through. But I looked out for her though. All right. I wouldn't ride one of them things without a helmet, pads, and everything. All right, so this is in and out on a Sunday. There's no line going all the way up around the corner at lunchtime on a Sunday, you know. So they're okay. They don't pay me to tell you they're my favorite, so I don't. You know, I tell you the truth. I like Five Guys better.
oh yeah.
Wendy's is better too. If y'all can see the Roosevelt Hotel is going to come up on our left side in a moment. It's been there since, well, you can put anyone going through those doors from the Greta Garbos, the Sinatras, well, Harry Belafonte comes to mind. It's where they had the Oscars before the Oscars was at the Dolby, which was in 1927. Kelly Osbourne in modern day, she's on the roof doing a podcast. If anyone follows her, you know about that situation. But yeah, a lot of history to say the least. At that, you can check out the architecture. You know, it's not all, well, it's modern and sleek for its time period. You know, they're building, you'll see it in a moment. There's old school gargoyles on it. Used to be a bank. Some people come here and take pictures and document these buildings before they ever get torn down. Where the Lowe's Hotel and Mall sits was something like what was across the street that was historic, but money went out and developers. The Madame Tussauds up there ahead of you, you've heard of them before, the wax museum, so you can go and hug it out with some life size. That's right, bless you back there. I'm not going to talk too much right now because I'm going to get these 6 people. We're going to come back through here on the filling of the tour anyway. No Camirs, off the Tesla over there, no Camirs though. I mean, I'm telling you, all of this is different. If the Oscars were going on for 3 weeks, you couldn't come through. We got some BTS fans over there. Any BTS fans on board? There's no army on board. This is my first tour in the last week without the army. Currently, I had people flying all the way from London who were coming to see the at the SoFi Stadium concert. All right, so I need 6 people now. No one is linking down the parking spot. Let's see here. All right, I might have to do a impromptu landing without parking in the dirt. It'll be okay. Hello.
You're in for the 6.
For 6, yes sir. We got a row across the back for you guys. There's a 5 and a 1.
Okay. All the way to the back, there's a 5 and then a 1.
All right, now welcome aboard. Got your Funyuns. Welcome, welcome. Guys, my name's Sean. Go ahead and get settled in. All right. Welcome aboard, sir. We're going to go from here to the Pretty Woman Hotel. Actually, I'll go ahead and tell you right now. Over to the left, beside that Matrix, or below the Matrix ad, that's the Metro. It's where the Italian Job was done. If you remember the part where all the minis went flying down into the subway, and they blew up the street, the armored truck fell down into the subway. Edward Norton was in a helicopter saying, Highland and Hollywood, get there, get my gold. And this guy's on a motorcycle chasing him into the subway. Yeah, so imagine sitting here right now and some minis come by 60 miles per hour, just jumping the curb, people jumping out of the way. In an action movie, that works. Everyone jumps out of the way at the last second, you know. In real life, not so much. That's why it's cool in the movies. All right, so enough about this. We'll come back to all this later. Right now, though, who's enough of a fan? Do I have Pretty Woman fans on board? I mentioned it earlier. Anybody Pretty Woman fans? I know I don't have any BTS fans. This can't be the first bus where I don't have any Pretty Woman fans. Because there's a test. Now, don't say you are if you aren't, because there is a test. So let me ask you, what did Richard use to pull down the ladder at the last scene, the hotel where Julia had went after they broke up? You know, he had to jump up there. What was it? You remember? Anybody? It was the umbrella. Umbrella he used to pull down the handle. We're going to see that exact building. If anybody can look up to the left, that's the building with the gargoyles. What used to be Hollywood First National Bank. No developer has bought it yet because it's down. No telling what that corner of Earth is worth, huh? Yeah, I know, right? In the world of commercial development, it's for lease, for filming and pop-ups, of course. You could put an old school. That would be like a builder from Batman's Gothic City. Gothic City. It's a Gothic building, but Gotham. It's the longest intersection in the world.
We were just staying off the Sunset.
I think so, yeah.
Anybody see a dinosaur with a Santa Beard up there? That's the Ripley's Believe It or Not. You might go in there and see the same thing at freak shows. You know Dean Cain? The TV shows, there were 2 of them. One of them was when Dean Cain hosted. You got the Scientology building up there. That's more of a recruitment center in there. You'll see some people dressed up sometimes that'll talk you into coming in. Hopefully, it's just signing like Tom Cruise and Travolta. Lisa Remini says no. I'm gonna show y'all the 35-foot cross in a minute. Talking about churches. There's kind of a cynical reason that it was put there. Right now, Beetlejuice fans. That's the Beetle House on your right. L.A. all black. You know, it's like Halloween here. There's one, of course, in New York. But yes, basically all kinds of music. Are y'all living on this area? In this area?
We stayed here the other night.
Which at the Las Palmas here? No. On the left side. This is on the right is where they did the Pretty Woman. That's where Richard had to go get over his height from his fear of heights. That was a big deal for him. Plus the fact that he came here from a $25,000 a night room. The rooms here are like $90 now. The one that he was in now is $25K. It's 5,000 square foot. Called the presidential suite.
Yeah.
Y'all are on the left side over there?
Yeah, well, we left it.
Oh.
Screaming, fighting.
It was a noisy place. What was it? Y'all like, it's like an Airbnb or something? Or how?
Yeah.
Because it's an apartment building, right? Right, got you. Oh, man. Uh-oh, can I get, oh yeah, I got enough room to get through. Sometimes cars are parked double. Definitely don't want to hit that Maserati bumper over there or anything else. I know a bumper on the Honda is 1,500. Don't ask me how I know. Don't want to know what a bumper on a Maserati is. All right, so look ahead now. It's going to be on your left in a moment, though. You would hear bells, especially noon on Sunday. It's Hollywood United Methodist. Again, I know I got Philadelphia on board. This is where they did the interior scenes for Sister Act when they had already been to Philly and set up the movie by showing landmarks there. Like the bar with the church across the street was in Philly. You come back here and you just use that to save a little bit of cash, whatever possible. Even on Sunday, someone's laying on the horn. I tell you, in a hurry to get something. That's not a courtesy tap either. Is anyone seen Unhinged? With Russell Crowe? He was already a homicidal maniac, but he really got ticked off that she blared her horn at her. He was like, "Can I at least get a courtesy tap?" And then the whole rest of the movie was him trying to kill her over a courtesy tap. It was a weird way of saying, be careful how you treat somebody because they just might be a homicidal. Basically, you don't know what kind of day they're having, but in his case, it might be a homicidal maniac.
Who's having a bad day?
Who was having a, yeah. Alright, at some point, though, I'm going to make this right turn. I'm going to have to get a little bit aggressive. Not too aggressive, but a little bit. I'm going to have to get my front end out there, but not yet. The Honda's coming through. Like, no. Alright, after this Jeep, we're going to go, y'all. Uh-oh, the Honda, now the Audi, they're like, no. Alright, here we go. So even extra wide. Thank you, Ford. That's right, that's Ford love.
Yeah.
That guy from the South, too. He's from North Carolina like me. Very courteous. Darn it. You never imagined what you would actually miss. Alright, so Highland Avenue now, heading out of, you're going to hit the 101, the main route, out of Hollywood. Churches in the San Fernando Valley, being cynical, said, okay, we need to put a reminder of Jesus Christ for people leaving, but put the, kind of like if you're leaving Vegas, since what they call Sin City. Up ahead, you see it. If you can, look at the 35-foot cross. I know some of you in the back might not be able to see it, but you will when I get further up. Because it definitely hasn't been made famous in any movie. Except for Denzel Washington. What you might know about, though, is the Hollywood Bowl on the left. That's a concert. It's an amphitheater. Anybody been itching to see a Backstreet Boy concert? They're going to be there in June. Everybody from the Beatles to Backstreet Boys and Earth, Wind and Fire. Let's see who else. Oh yeah. Well, Liddy, NCIS. Liddy met a Russian spy here. Look at that jumbotron ahead on the left. You see the red? It's June 7th. That's Backstreet Boys. It was. Now it says Russ. So only 17,000 seats to get sold out. Only for people entering the 101. That's exactly. Big old white cross. Top of the hill in Hollywood. Anybody been to Universal? Right, that's right. You're not in Florida, right? Those are in Bosch, too. One of them's in Bosch. If anyone watches the detective show.
Yeah, that's.
You're going to have almost 3 stories of letters of Hollywood sign. Hold on. Keep those limbs out of your way. It's been there since 23, okay? There we go. I was hoping it wouldn't be too hazy to see it because, okay, in 4 years it's been hazy enough that that whole mountaintop over there was covered up. Okay, so 1923, Hollywood Land was being built. That's a neighborhood. The developers had a, I mean, even now, if you put 42 feet letters on top of a mountain above a neighborhood, out from a 7-year-old. That minion's name was Stewart, by the way, the one-eyed minion. Hey, it's kind of funny. Today it's clear enough to see the Santa Clarita Mountains over there, whereas yesterday all of that was blanketed by marine layer, just like the other side. This is the north side. The south side is what we were looking at before. Yeah, but the valley just goes out all the way north. You got the 101. Well, you go to Calabasas, Burbank. This is where, from this point on, if you see any jets taking off, that was what I was saying from Bob Hope Airport about the people complaining about the noise up here. Who lives in the northern end of the valley in a place called Calabasas? Anybody who's been keeping up with someone out there? With Hillary Swank and Michael Ealy. He and his wife live in this house. There may or may not be a murder in it. That's all I'll say. No spoiler alert. Hey, the gate's open, but it's like a checkerboard gate. You can kind of it's very distinctive. He'll be coming in and out in a Lamborghini and a Ducati motorcycle. So you'll remember that gate from watching the movie a few times because it's so distinctive. But the house is like, I don't know, 5,000 square feet. It's just right on the edge. And again, every window, every wall is just a window. And you can see the whole view. Second or third generation Ford GTs. Going to be where, well, I'll probably be able to show you what's called the Widowmaker too. A darker note, they call it the Widowmaker because, well, in general, it's just a dangerous curve right on the cliff. Some people don't always turn it right, because speed is irrelevant. Horsepower, you really need to know how to steer and brake on roads like this. That's why, like Kevin Hart in that old school muscle car, which as you know, don't always handle well anyway. They got into a little trouble. But Dodge Coronet, 1969. God on his anniversary goes off that cliff. And see, it's 30 miles per hour, then 15 miles per hour, then it says go left, go left. There's a blind curve right there. This bus is slow, so I'll wait on this guy. Legs on fire, right? And we will be, I'm gonna pull over too, so there's no reason not to pass him. Hopefully there's enough room. There will, well, I don't know, it's all vans and SUVs. I'll pull over right here then. So this again, if they say, if you ever see someone hitchhiking, actually I won't pull over right there, I will. It's a little bit of a dip, but it's right. Hitchhiking with flowers. The ghost is trying to send flowers home on his anniversary date. Don't pick them up. Otherwise, E.T. flew off and it was okay, right? His little finger started glowing and they were good to go. Now, out ahead of us, you have a place called The Summit. It's an ultra-exclusive neighborhood where you don't have to worry about any stalkers. We haven't seen any jets come over Burbank out there today. It's kind of a slow day. Usually that there's like boom, boom, boom. Over Southwestern is a big help for Southwestern. They're canceling flights anyway. You still see Vans, the first house to your right. Coming back to the left, there's a one-level all-white house that also has a really big yard. That's where the Blake and Quinn are. They said they want $30 million for it, but the house is still sitting. They still live in it. Still having birthday parties and setting up the bouncy rooms on quite a few weekends actually. Curve. See that minivan would have took us out. No accidents on my tour. You gotta anticipate. Go around. I'm gonna thread the needle here. Man, it's like a go-kart for me. Remember that. Really, in curves like this, I'm looking way up over here to see what's coming around. If you're doing 100 over there, you'd be here in a couple seconds. Radio tower. Notice there are not a lot of guardrails up here anyway. Again, it's like 1920s regulations. It's like a little piece here, then it's like, the trees become your guardrails. That's why another reason to be careful. You need to drive it a lot of times to memorize it. That's the rule in any road, really. Old school Corvette. Got to see some celebrities on this tour. I'm feeling lucky. But y'all see all them hummingbirds laying back here. That got to count for something. We're going to get the aerial view of Beverly Hills first. Once you get clear of the, look out to the left-hand side. And everything in the upper levels, especially in the middle and the background, that's going to be Beverly Hills. What we're gonna tell you got Christmas. So remember Ben and Gwen. Denise Richards and Manny Pacquiao. Doesn't scream. Look at us over here. It's all relatively low key compared to what's going to be apparent with you. While you're sitting there sipping on your champagne and eating caviar. They complain about everything. They complain about the tour buses stopping them. When I'm doing 30 miles per hour, the maximum speed limit, and they want to do 70, they complain that I'm holding them up. Because they're late for their $5 million deal. But it's not my fault they're late. I mean, I'm doing 30 miles per hour. I'm practically the Fast and the Furious tour man right now. Going downhill, watching my brakes. But right now, it's all gravity. I'm remembering all these spots that people need to come out because I technically can't stop. And I know that. So I know my stopping distance. People they drive crazy. I joke that if we get ran by Rolls Royce, y'all just hop off of your lake races and go buy your house. I don't know if that Honda behind me would do it. Actually, that's a Tesla, but still, it's not a Rolls Royce. Everywhere you look, there'll be a black, white, and gray Tesla, G-Wagon, Range Rover, Prius. They're like the status symbols. And the colors, you know, black, white, and gray is the most popular anyway. I mean, I own a gray car. Y'all own black, white, gray cars? Anybody?
Yeah.
Sometimes that's all you see around here. And the Ferraris and stuff too. You know, again, I thought they would all be red when I came here, but no, they're mostly not. Of course, now I say that there'll be a pink Lamborghini coming around the corner. The Mary Kay Lamborghini. Days and up to now, and you know about Rodeo Drive. But what drew the first people before it was even called Beverly Hills, when it had just been subdivided from a llama bean ranch? Okay, so go back to the 1890s. Fascinating fact: Maria Pinta, Afro-Latina lady, owned 8,000 plus acres in what's called the tracts now, right? So, and llama beans, that was a primary crop. So she sold land to speculators. They wanted oil, 1903, and they didn't find it. Ironically, much later on, after houses were being built in the northern section, there was oil found, and they drilled diagonally, so not to disturb, and they built soundproof rooms around the oil pumps or derricks or whatnot. So you can see the big buildings, but not you won't hear any see anything. Oh, so but the original speculators, that area became the tracts. So every yard is going to be a little square. It's the average 8-lane section. They laid out the trees. They lined each street with the same tree. And they buried the power lines and other things like drawing the streets to be creative. So that's what got the buzz started. So as far as seeing it for yourself, because you really do need to see it. If I didn't mention the power lines, most of you wouldn't say, oh wait, the power lines are gone. But look on the right real quick, and here's your last light pole. And then you see these big beautiful pine trees all of a sudden. So this is in effect what was decided. I mean, it was just a much smaller area. The tracks is much further away from where we are right now, you know. There's been an expansion, to say the least, since then, since 1903. Rihanna owns 3 houses. One of them, the fourth one, is she's built, I should say building, she hasn't moved in yet. Look up on the left, all 3 of these properties are literally still in the process of being built. But they look like apartment buildings or condos, right? All the way up on the left. That last gray one is Rihanna's. I can't stop for it, unfortunately, due to traffic, but you could Google Rihanna Big Gray House and you'll see her taking pictures on that property as it was being built. Or if anyone follows her, you may have already known about that. That's the only one I know that she built. The other ones she bought. Investment properties. So again, I got you. You know, it's all investments. All real estate always has been for anyone with the money in the first place. Whether it's buying $30,000 houses or $30 million, the numbers it's the same concept, you know. Let's talk about Rocky now, because he went from homelessness, which is, I like talking about the ones I know were homeless, because that's much better than just showing you rich people's side of the story. You already know about some people who were homeless. If you don't know about Tyler Perry, for example, Jay Leno was homeless. You may or may not know. They used to arrest homeless people in his day, and he says that he would joke, and the cops would let him ride around and listen to his jokes sometimes. He stresses sometimes though. All the way up top on the right though, that castle-looking building is where Rocky. Don't know if he still owns it because it would have been a long time now that he has, but I don't know. I don't know one way or the other. And this one, I don't know if he built the other three or not, but I mean the other two, but the one we will see he did build. Well, we'll see the guard booth. It's an estate, you know what I mean? It's 3-4 acres. But this is the side where if you go to a party and you're talking about what side of Sunset do you live on, you're like, oh, I'm on the east side. You're like, oh, I'm on the east side. Oh, okay, because I'm on the west side of Sunset. You know what I mean? It's that kind of snobbery going on. They call that area the ghetto. This is not the ghetto right here. This is the guest house, right? See, this is when you see right here. The guest house is on sale. This first property. The owner, the pharmaceutical executive, decided. I want to dip in right here real quick. She decided to sell that property, subdivide it. After I'm coming in, she's like, don't worry, give me plenty of time. Don't worry. But yeah, so this is the main property. That was the guest property. This is altogether it was 60-something million, but she decided she didn't need that guest house. Her in-laws can sleep in one of her other rooms, you know? That's like a 12-room house back there. This is just the guard booth right there though, huh? Nobody gets hit on my tour. No squirrels, no runners, nobody. On your right real quick, this is Kevin Feige's house. He's not famous, but you know about the Avengers? Anybody? Y'all heard about the Avengers or the Marvel movies?
Yeah.
He's a Marvel executive. And that's not even a really fast car, you know? Oh well. So this is the area again where it is a little bit more humble. You don't have guard booths and helicopter pads and security basketball courts and tennis courts. They actually call that, like the Rolls Royce in the yard at Eric's house, they call that. By the way, I said Eric Feige. It's Kevin Feige, everybody. That's a slip up. Eric Feige is an attorney, I know, but I'm sorry. Anyway, the point, I try to be as possible. Oh yeah, you got to. Now, I'll tell you, this is a very litigious state. On the right here, though, this is where we saw Conor McGregor coming out over there. This is the Beverly Hills Hotel bungalows out here. So you got 12 acres of land. A family from Texas bought everything around you when it was 30+ acres. They built the hotel on 15+ acres, and then they sold off all the other land to speculators. Drama going on. We got Audi, we got Tesla trying to get through, we got tour vans. They want it to be different, so 2 lanes, 6 directions, circular intersection. I don't get scientific. I don't come up and try to figure out what came first. I just close my eyes and count to 3 and hit the B10, and it works. In the 50s, but I just thought because the roof in this area you can see everything so clearly, so I take a little bit of time. Because otherwise, it is like that house on the right. You would see in a lot of suburban neighborhoods across the state, upscale neighborhoods. It would be maybe 6 figures. You could have more land. Like I said, you can't get anywhere near here for Halloween. Very popular spot. The kids basically get to take over the whole street. Everything. House of the John is not doing Sundays. That used to be a mom and pop store on the right, Iranian American family. Louis moved them. Then on the left over there is where Louis moved them from. You're Ranger.
And then they moved to
You know, it's funny when you're throwing these $1 million figures. $1 million is not $1 million.
$1 million? You mean with inflation and everything? What are you saying? Oh, you mean just in the world of, it's not like wealthy. It looks like we got a wedding couple over there. I'm surprised we didn't see people in front of the hotel, the Beverly Hills Hotel. It's a big time place to get married, take pictures. Oh, you're just saying in general, $1 million is not $1 million anymore.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's like.
Oh, of course. It's like people say, like in today's money, for example.
Yeah.
Oh well. There are more millionaires now than ever before, huh?
Oh yeah.
Velociraptor 6x6 with his face on the door, that helmet he wears. I looked up Jay and saw him standing with the car across the street on the roof. He's like, I don't know, 20, 25 feet tall. I don't know exactly how many. But yeah, that's where all the magic happens. That used to be A&M Music Studios. And there used to be Charlie Chaplin's movie studio. A lot of history in that building. A&M had signed Janet Jackson, and there's a special coming out about them on ethics. Alright now. And everybody else is going to the store. Usually the Uber would get out here. Hey, thank you, sir. Very generous of you. Very generous of you. Thank y'all. Everybody else, sit tight. I'm gonna have to start. Unless we stop at Danny Trejo's Tacos. Sorry. Some of that street fruit over there looks good too.
Yeah, it does.
You catch them when it's really, really, really sweet. Got everything from honeydew to cantaloupe, watermelon.